Anyway, enough of
कैसा
this
जाता सीजन?
no,
Enough of these
pregame news.
losers.
In, dear Jadon Sancho, oh dear Jadon Sancho, we stood by your side through inconsistent days and a bumpy ride. When goals were scarce and games were tough, we gave you time, we gave you enough. A new dawn came with a new man's call. You rose a bit, then began to fall. 4 months away, we waited still. The gaffer believed we had goodwill. But back you came with a hidden knife against the man who backed your life. When asked to sweat in tactical drills, you turned away, ignored the skills. On socials, you chose to rant and rave, while others fought on the field so brave. FIFA in hand, as the cup went on, same lazy attitude, and the trust was gone. Oh dear Sancho, oh dear Sancho. Let's go.
Yay! Gaya
So
Sancho.
yes,
Nice.
but yes, forget enough about Sancho. Didn't wanna waste our precious time on Sancho. So let's actually talk about what is happening on the pitch
Let's
in
actually
these
talk about
three
something
matches.
worse.
तो कुछ करने को बचा ही नहीं है मतलब अभी लेट्स रैप दिस क्या करना है
Same old, same old. We continued where we left off last season, but that's the only thing I know, or I can make of the last three games, which is disappointing. But I mean, ठीक है, thankfully the international break is here, so it was a short run.
less suffering
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
for sure.
shit performances. I think individual performances haven't been good at United. Mm, and obviously ETH still doesn't seem to have figured out any sort of structure. मुझे लगता है लास्ट सीजन से थोड़ा सा बेटर है स्ट्रक्चर in the sense that we
Hmm.
are not conceding 20 shots anymore every game.
but we are
Even against
conceding
Leo,
goals
that's true.
Minus
That needs to be
minus
fixed.
three, minus three.
uh,
ये
but
वही हो रहा है भाई.
हाँ
नेगेटिव गोल डिफरेंस.
ये है कि लास्ट सीजन से बहुत ज्यादा डिफरेंस नहीं है. I still think agar like if they were picking their moments, like for example against Brighton, that disallowed goal happened for Joshua Zirkzee. I think that was very
that was a
unlucky.
bad
Had
luck that was a bad
Yeah,
luck
I think had we scored there, we could have gotten a third one. We
हाँ,
were
we could.
pretty much in momentum. Similarly against Liverpool, actually Liverpool we went 3-0 down, and after that we had some chances. So can't even say that we were too good. But I think those वो तीन में से suppose अगर पहला वाला जोशुआ जर्गसी का हेडर चले जाता,
Header.
आई थिंक पता नहीं थोड़ा सा होप रहता है
मूड
फिर.
अलग होता.
मूड अलग होता काफी यार. बट
Hmm.
ठीक है. ओल्ड ट्रैफर्ड में भी था तो ओल्ड ट्रैफर्ड वुड हैव गॉटन अ चांस टू कम इनटू प्ले देन द फैंस द वे दे गेट लाउड व्हेन आवर टीम इज चेसिंग. बट 3-0 पे तो वो लोग गिव अप कर दिए थे, बू कर रहे थे बिकॉज he didn't sub off Rashford. And
भाई मतलब रैशफोर्ड का वेट टेन हाग है.
I think Rashford played decent यार of all the players Liverpool के against. Created 2-3 big chances. Or just go back if you have the guts, go back and look at the highlights again. 3-4 बार उसने run लिया है and Bruno ने, Garnacho ने, they all missed the
भाई
pass to him.
that is because Casemiro left such a low benchmark for the team.
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
else was like okay, but in its entirety, the entire team was shit. And we started off actually pretty well, but
Yeah.
वही होता है हमारे साथ.
What did you guys think about the other matches? Because I don't think so United के बारे में discuss करने का इतना कुछ है. Why has something on
I
United though?
have I have a short answer I have a very short answer how will I rate these 3 games out of 10? Any guesses? -3. So jokes apart, no, I'm sorry. I wanted I didn't want to be a reactionary fan. I didn't want to record anything Turant after the game. I wanted to have some time. You should also take some time to collectively come up with thoughts and positives and negatives. But at this point, I have 80% negatives, 20% positives. 20% positives में there are only two things positive. 10% is Ruud van Nistelrooy is our assistant manager. So worst case, worst scenario, he'll be our coach. ये मैं पकड़ के चल रहा हूँ अभी जिस हिसाब से चल रहा है. And 80% 10% चीजों में you can see few things tactically here and there, those are improved, but I don't see any massive changes. I don't see any particular style, and I don't want to say that middle of the park में passing करना is a style, because that is not called anything. Okay, maybe I'm a noob, I don't know. I have a zero ball knowledge, whatever you want to say, but मुझे देख के पता चल रहा है ना किधर क्या गलत जा रहा है. This last year's man to man high press approach, it left a hole in the midfield, and we all know what happened last season. This season, if you follow some patterns, defense is not coming out. It is playing like a low block and deep block. Your midfield and attackers are pressing man to man in a 4-4 situation. But वो 4-4 situation में problem ये हो रहा है. Again, if the Casemiro is alone, their
Isolated.
two CMs or
Hmm.
two wingers are not wingers. Two CMs are coming together and
Overcrowding.
forcing mistakes, which happened exactly in the last game. Those two individual errors from Casemiro, those were forced errors from Liverpool.
Ten Hag is not very sure about his how he wants to press. तो उसका आगे का जो प्रेस है ना, द मिडफील्ड एंड द फॉरवर्ड प्रेस, दैट इज अ हाई प्रेस. बट जो अपना डिफेंस है वो उसको
Hmm.
अकोमोडेट करने हाई प्रेस नहीं करता है. वो अपना जैसा वाई मेंशन मेंटेन करता है. एंड इन दैट देयर इज
Yeah.
दिस लाइक वियर्ड 3-1-6 फॉर्मेशन बन जाता है जहाँ वन
Hmm.
कैसेमीरो होता है एंड ही डजंट हैव, like nobody can be expected to cover that much also. He was shit, no doubt. He misplaced passes, but जितना उसको distance cover करना पड़ता है, it's like क्या ही बोलेंगे.
But those were
Which is,
forced errors
yeah,
only.
yeah,
Like,
those were misplaced passes. That is bad. But
and
I
And
think
I.
the way some of the other managers mitigate this high press में issue
Hmm.
is that they don't do a 3-1-6 formation. They do a 3-2-5 where the left back or the right
Hmm.
back comes and joins in the midfield at that time.
Yeah.
So that is something ETH doesn't do. So अपना पूरा open field.
And yeah, to leave such a tactic कैसेमेरो के ऊपर पूरा बर्डन भी देना, ओके,
Hmm.
of running around because him being the sole pivot in the defensive midfield area, ठीक है, एक तो he's alone over there. Second, so he's exposed to the opposition players coming and घेरावing him in that sense. Plus उससे expect करो कि वो सब जगह दौड़े, वो तो नहीं होगा. Because see, again, if let's say even if you swap Casemiro with Ugarte by any chance, ठीक है, who's much younger than Casemiro, I still don't see this working as a tactic because by at the end of the day, Ugarte will also face a similar issue. वो ज्यादा टैकल करेगा, ठीक है, वो सब हो रहा है, बट आई मीन वो बहुत ज्यादा ओवरलोड एक प्लेयर के ऊपर हो रहा है एंड ही हैज टू डू समथिंग अबाउट द मिडफील्ड बिकॉज अल्टीमेटली भाई आई फील चलो बीच में डिफेंस का भी था, अटैक का भी था, बट midfield is like the consistent issue that is up that is that's
Yeah.
that's a big issue since the past 10 years. लाइक वो तो वो चर्न में ही वो कभी सॉल्व ही नहीं हो पा रहा है. चलो ठीक है, डिफेंडर्स को लाके कुछ कर दिया, बट मिडफील्ड हैज टू बी दैट रोलिंग system where
In
anybody
fact,
comes in and then like they
In
can
fact, if you
fit in
guys
that way.
remember, our midfield issues had started under Ferguson itself, because
Yeah.
you remember Paul Scholes had retired, and then we struggled a lot that season, and Paul Scholes had to
Hmm.
come back from retirement
Come
to
back.
help Fergie win
And then
his.
we won a title
Yeah,
again.
but I'm saying that to midfield gap, midfield hole wala jo Paul Scholes का role है, we
Hmm.
haven't found anything that Paul Scholes Carrick type balance. So in
And
fact, like surprisingly, McFred had some sort of a balance between them compared to
Mick
like
and
this.
Fred both have gone.
दोनों चले गए.
like इतना
Anyway,
पीछे जाना है तो आई थिंक पॉइंटलेस होगा इन माय ओपिनियन, बट एट दिस पॉइंट तुम उगाटे को लाओ, तुम वलवार्डे लाओ जो इंजन है पूरा टैंक, तुम एट दिस रेट इवन कोबी माइनू ही विल बर्न आउट,
he'll burn out. Yeah,
गारंटी है,
Hmm.
गारंटी है. He has to take up his space and he has to follow Casemiro. मतलब कैसे, क्या क्या, एंड ही हैज टू प्ले दैट बॉल कैरियर रोल आल्सो, लाइक ब्रो, मतलब तुम नहीं कर सकते ना, तुम नहीं कर सकते,
and that is
तुमको
what
क्या
happened.
चाहिए.
Third goal में जो Liverpool के against the mistake that was Kobe Manu's. He up, it's not his fault, but that is how
No,
it
It
is.
went
you
through
can't,
him.
you can't blame individual thing when the errors were forced by Liverpool
Hmm.
team, and they played exceptionally well. I did not know who was the manager who was in the third season and who was the manager who was uh, having his third game of the first season. And I have to take a big L as of now. As of now, okay, as of now, मेरा वाइल्डेस्ट प्रेडिक्शन मेरे को होते हुए नहीं दिख रहा अभी तक. So I don't think so I will walk out as a legend as of now. I might, but हाँ.
I don't see him coping with the criticism well as well. Because did you guys see his
Hmm.
comments? He's
Yeah, yeah.
saying
Yeah.
like he's doing a little bit of a Mourinho thing कि मैं ट्रॉफी जीता हूँ, मैं ट्रॉफी जीता हूँ, बट मोरिनियो ने बहुत सारी ट्रॉफीज जीता है. लाइक वो कर सकता है ये,
And
बट
wo pata, I feel he is putting more pressure on himself. Why I tell you is because if he's then just making others believe to judge his performance basis the number of trophies he's won.
करेक्ट.
By chance, if he does not win anything this season, that means it's an admission कि भाई मेरे को sack कर दो, अब मैं ट्रॉफी
हम्म.
नहीं ला पाऊँ. पर ठीक है, let's see
Anyway, enough of
कैसा
this
जाता है सीजन.
no,
Enough of these
game.
losers.
In